G.I.Joe!
Hello everyone and welcome to another vintage versus classified figure comparison. Today's video will be looking at Serpentor, the Cobra leader himself after Cobra Commander. And if you watched my review on Serpentor, I kinda did a comparison in that video, but I didn't really have the lighting or the setup that I currently have, and I don't like the lighting that I did that video in. So I'm just gonna do the comparison again, this time with a little bit of better lighting. Hopefully that's a bit better, and that way it's not as long of a video like it was for the review when I did Serpentor, because I think that was like 30 minutes or something, I don't remember, and I doubt a lot of people watch that. So we're gonna compare them here, and starting off with accessories. Now my vintage Serpentor isn't complete because I don't look or desire to complete vintage figures unless it's a character that I really like. But here I do have the back piece or head dress, as it is commonly known as. So this does detach from the back, and for the most part you'll either this thing is missing or it's like broken most of the time. The one thing you'll always have a hard time finding is a complete Serpentor because of these little fangs breaking off. I think mine is only missing the cape and his dagger, which I think Classified tried to do, but it looks more like a sword because it's a bit longer. Daggers are a bit shorter, but I think it does resemble that kind of shape the vintage dagger had. The vintage one also gave us a whole bunch of accessories. We get this cool sort of staff with the cobra at the top, some red there at the bottom, so that's very cool. And they give us a snake spear to throw at Duke. We got his forearm claws extended out, and that swaps out in place of this other one that is more shorter, retracted kind of thing going on. We get two head dresses pieces with this Classified one. One allows for more movement of the head, where this one just kind of limits him to being there because it plugs in into the back and then it plugs into the top of his head, so he can't really move side to side. He's just in that same position all the time. Now, one thing they did do similar was the cobra here. Of course, we get more detail with this one here, all that cool scaling and stuff, and different shades of paint on the underbelly compared to the back, and then red for the mouth, some white on the fangs, and painted in eyes. Whereas the vintage one, it was just molded in this gold, but you still get the cool scales going all around the back and that cool belly texture going on the underneath, and then you still get that flare out of the cobra and sculpted, I don't know, are they sculpted eyes in there? Yeah, he has sculpted eyes in there. So yeah, that's the one accessory that the Classified kind of gave us again, this cool cobra, and I'm not complaining, but it's cool to have. But now, getting all this out of the way, we'll look at Serpentor's air chariot. I think this might be one of the longer vintage versus Classified videos, but there is a whole lot to look at between these two guys because they come included with the vehicle. For the most part, the design is the same. We get the cool cobra. I think it would have been cool if we got the cobra logo here like we have it here, but the head on this one just kind of moves side to side. This one doesn't move side to side, but the jaw does hinge and reveals this other kind of gun inside there. So I think that's pretty cool. We get the two turrets, which are removable on the Classified one, and you can have a trooper holding it, which is pretty cool. They're also removable on the vintage one, but I don't want to remove them and they didn't really fit in anybody else's hand, so there was no point in removing them. We get the 2 fins here at the back. I'm not sure if mine are placed correctly because it kind of opens up there, kind of gapes open. But yeah, we get the 2 fins, which you also had to place on this new one. So yeah, a bit updated on that kind of style for the fins, but there's a lot of similarities with the 2 of them. You get this little knob here, which allows you to spin the fan up there. So that was pretty neat. And with the classified one, you can also spin it by doing this, or try and doing that, but it does spin in there, as you can see. We get different gauges here on the Serpentor Chariot there, which you also get over here. Of course, this is a little bit more basic. Over here you get like an airplane symbol and just a different few other symbols. Another airplane but smaller on this side, as you can see. And yeah, so that's pretty neat. We get 2 fins on the back over here, whereas this one had the 1 fin over there. More similarities, the handlebars, of course, pretty similar, as you can see there. I think this one has another kind of gauge screen on there, but very cool, very updated look. You get a whole bunch of detailing at the bottom here, so sort of the engine kind of things, propeller boosters, whatever you want to call them, where the vintage one was kind of plain in that aspect. And overall, they kept a lot of the details with the stickers rather similar. As you can see, you get the Kosh gun reactor, CE03, and then a Cobra logo with the crown. So there goes Serpentor, but with the crown. And you get that same crown on the vintage one, that same number. And then the same caution gun reactor. There's panel removal, which I think they put that at the bottom, and then they also put, so there's the panel removal, and then there's hydraulic there. And I don't think this one had the hydraulic there. No, it does not. Oh, it does. It's right here. So yeah, a few places where they changed up the stickers and stuff, but for the most part, I mean, it resembles the vintage counterpart rather well. Now, in terms of Serpentor himself, I think there's a lot of similarities going on here. Obviously, we're gonna get more detail with the classified, with the snake on the belt there, with the painted sort of mouth and fangs, as well as these other heads on his shoulders, painted mouth and fangs and even eyes. Very cool. And you can just see all that cool texturing going around the entire body. Snakes wrapped around the boot, some brighter gold there, green at the shoes. Very, very cool. That scaly texture for the hands and body. This area kind of resembles the bottom of the belly of the snake. And then, of course, you get the cool sort of snake scales for his cape. And then, some more elbow pads and stuff going on. The cool fangs there, the eyes and everything. Where it is very much similar to the vintage one. The vintage one also had this sort of snake pattern going across the chest there. You also get the 2 heads on his shoulders, but with no paint, of course. It's a smaller scale. You get the belt there as well. A bit more detail with the classified there. The armor pieces are kind of similar, the knee and up to the thigh, as well as over here. And then you get that same snake sort of coiling around pattern on the foot on Serpentor. This one has full green boots, whereas Serpentor kind of divides everything over here on this version. You get that scaly pattern, belly pattern, and then green. For the arms, kind of similar as well. You get that, like, this kind of thing on here. It kind of closely resembles it. Although I think it resembles it more on this side, because you see the two fangs. So, that could resemble the two fangs. So, maybe they put it on the wrong arm. But other than that, they're pretty much the same design, as far as I can see. And I think it's a good representation of the vintage of the vintage in classified form. Of course, you get a much meaner look in classified because you can get that detail in there. Whereas, the vintage one, he's got a little face in there, pretty funny. Of course, mine is missing a tooth, as I said at the beginning of the video. Kind of hard to find a complete Serpentor that has both tooths intact, so there's that. And I think that pretty much summarizes the classified and vintage counterpart. I think they did a good job translating not only the air chariot, but also Serpentor himself into classified. A few updates here and there, a few changes, but for the most part, they kept it pretty similar to the vintage one. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in a future vintage versus classified video.